Hi friends, welcome you all for today's session 2 of Recruitment Selection Unit 2 Hiring Process. So in the previous session, we discussed regarding to understanding of the meaning and definition of recruitment, features, purpose and objectives of recruitment. So keeping those background, let's try to understand recruitment process or hiring process in today's session. Okay, so here I have got two boxes. Okay, each boxes explain recruitment process or hiring process, but there is a lots of differences in the explanation. So very first box, it explains the hiring process where we have the 5 steps. Okay, so here to understand this recruitment process, because already we are discussing the features stating recruitment is not a single event. Okay, it's not a single activity, it's having multiple activities, so we call it as a process because it's a managerial as well as continuous process. So hence we call it as what? Process. So this process is having 5 steps here. Okay, the very first step is you have to define the job requirements. The very first step is what? You have to define the job requirements. Once defining the job requirements, let's move to the next one, recruitment. That is recruiting the promising candidates. Okay, you have to recruit the promising candidates. After this, interviewing. Okay, after conducting the interviewing, you have evaluating candidates, and after evaluating, you have to make your final decisions and the job offer. So this is one way of explaining hiring process or recruitment process. Okay, taking the very first step, that is this process, that is defining the job requirements. Okay, this step explains what? Defining job requirements. So we have understood in our unit 1 what do you mean by job. A job is something which has been given to an employee or an incumbent, okay, who is performing a particular duty, roles, responsibilities. So a job defines what? Roles, responsibilities, duties or the task, etc., etc. So that way we understood what? The job. So job has to be very clear. Or we can also understand how are we defining the job? Job description, job specification. Job description describes the job in the terms of what? Nature, characteristics, feature. What this job exactly says all about. So how you're supposed to perform, what it is. That's what I mean. Duties, role, responsibilities and the task in the form of features, characteristics, nature and the context. Job description. Okay, specification is something to perform this particular job. Okay, what are the specified knowledge, skill, abilities required by an incumbent? So that we call it as what? Job specification. So here in the very first step, we have to understand, we have to define what? Job. Then job description, then the job specification. Along with that, that's what I've explained here. You have to define what exactly the job is, then the job description, job specification, and also we have to define the personal characteristics here. Because to perform any one job assigned, we also count the personal characteristics like an individual attitude, his interest, his beliefs, values, norms towards the job. Okay, so we also consider the personal quality or the personal characteristics as an important when we are defining the job. Okay, because the leadership qualities, it might be personal, we takes the personal traits. Okay, personal characteristics also counts in the picture here. So I mean here. Okay, and here organization culture also comes into the picture because that is the climate. Okay, when I say organization culture, we have two aspects here. One is the culture, other is the climate. Okay, when I say organization culture, again when we are defining the job, okay, again our culture plays important, that is the environment. Okay, along with the environment, what an organization is keeping those values and the norms and the beliefs. Okay, when we are just picturing the jobs, the characteristics of the jobs, the qualities of a job, that depicts an organization culture also. Okay, and also organization environment also plays a very important role when we are defining the job requirements here. So and also any job when it has been assigned, again a few managerial styles or the leadership styles also come into picture. That is to perform whatever the job assigned. So what kind of leadership styles are you executing? Whether it is an autocratic, democratic, paternalistic, charismatic, transactional, transformational, servant leadership, etc., etc. So all these key features what I just try to explain here. So these are the explanation for the very first step, defining the job requirements. Okay, hope you understood. How are we defining the job requirements here? First, you have to define job. Okay, what is the job? Okay, along with the description, specification, keeping in the mind of personal characteristics also of an increment. Okay, so it's a package. What I can call is, this is a package of all this thing. Okay, where you have job, job description, specification, personal characteristics, along with this organization culture, climate, and management styles also. Okay, so this is the first step. Now coming to the second step, what the second step explain? It says about recruiting promising candidates. Recruitment itself, it says, it's a process of what? You are attracting or encouraging or motivating, okay, or you are stimulating a promising or a potential candidate, okay, prospective candidate to apply for a job. So that's the definition what we have understood. Here also, recruiting promising candidates. So how I am recruiting a promising candidate? So recruitment always happens in either of the two methods. We have a two methods or the two sources, what we generally call. So that we call it as internal recruitment or external recruitment. So generally recruitment happens in two ways. Either we recruit internally or we recruit externally. Also, we have other sources of recruitment. Either we can call it as a direct recruitment, indirect recruitment, third party recruitment, and also the modern techniques of recruitment you have. Okay, anyway, these things and all you'll be coming across in the next session in deeper. What do you mean by direct recruitment, indirect recruitment, and third party recruitment or the modern recruitment. But still I try to explain here also in the process also. Okay, along with this recruiting promising candidates, so very first let's take internal recruitment. So internal recruitment is something where we are recruiting a candidate or the prospective candidate internally, that is within the organization. So how this happens is, like it can happen with the present employees. I'm just giving an examples. So how this internal recruitment happens, either by the present employees, okay, based on the like promotions base or the transfer base, we try to recruit the present employees. And employees referrals, one more, how we are doing the internally recruitment is by employee referrals. So we have employee working in existing organization, the present employee, he just refer one or the two employees what he is knowing, okay, the promising candidates. So that way also we can start recruiting through the reference, okay. And next one is the former employees. Former employees are someone who has already served the company and they have just left the company, like it can be a voluntary retirement or any other ways of separation. And we can also recruit through our former employees who does give the references to us. And next one, the previous applicants. Previous applicants, like we have got various resumes already whenever we just call for the post. So we have got many applicants are there. So we can just go back with the previous applicants and we can just screen out the better applicants. So that way also we can start recruiting. So all these sources are, we call it as what? Internal sources of recruitment. And we have got one more, that is seniority versus merit. Okay, we can also take the senior employees or the performance based employees also we can take internally, so that we can start recruiting internally. So these are the various sources of, we call it as what? Internal sources of or internal methods of recruitment. So that is one of the method of you are recruiting a promising candidate. Okay, now coming to the external sources of recruitment. This is other sources of recruitment, external sources of recruitment. External is something where you are hiring a candidate or recruiting a candidate externally, not within the organization, outside the organization. So we can call it as a fresh employees. We can call it as the fresh blood entering into the organization. So what are the various methods of external recruitment? So here naming external recruitment, you got so many sources of recruitment you have. Taking a very few, like advertisement. So you can give advertisement, we are calling for this job, okay, this is the vacancy created for this job, this is the description and these are the specifications. So through advertisement, either it can be the newspaper or any kind of social medias where we try to use and we try to recruit the candidates. So that is one of the sources of external recruitment. And next one is employment exchange. You got employment exchange bureau, they are getting the they call for this mela kind of thing, the job mela and all. There also we can go there once in a while. This employment bureau exchange, they conduct the job melas and all. So there we are hiring the candidates. So that was also one of the sources of recruitment, external sources of recruitment. And campus recruitment, you're going for the pool campus recruitment, walk-ins, gate-ins, talk-ins. Okay, so you got various sources of external recruitment. So naming few, we have taken what are the various methods of external recruitment. Also, as I've already told, other sources of recruitment like direct recruitment, where you can just go for the direct recruitment, which happens in some of the public sectors and the private sectors and all, government sectors and all. So that way also we can do, or indirect. Okay, and again, third party recruitment, it's something where you're going for outsourcing kind of thing. Okay, consultancies. We are requesting the consultancies, we are having what are the requirements. Okay, we specify them this is the job and these are the specified or the described thing, we give it to them, and they source the candidates to us. So we can call it as an outsourcing or thing, or the consultancy kind of thing. And modern techniques like you have this boomerang recruitment, where you're just calling back again the people who have served the organization. So our ex-employees coming back, that we call it as a boomerang recruitment, green recruitment, e-recruitment, poaching. So like this, you've got various forms of recruitments are there. So to this step, okay, in this, that is, I mean the process, this much is enough. So anyway, in the coming session, where we have a separate unit called internal hiring, external hiring. So then we discuss in deep regarding to these kind of sources of methods of recruitment. For these steps to explain here, let's try to understand very simple way. Recruiting promising candidates, how it happens? It happens by two sources. One is internal, external. Okay, or else we can also call it as what? Direct, indirect, third party, or outsourcing. Okay. Also, in this step, that is recruiting promising candidates, again there is one more concept coming into the picture here, screening resumes. Screening what? Resumes. See, first of all, recruitment is, it's something where you are stimulating a candidate to apply for a job. So he just passes over his resume. Okay. After that, then comes the picture of selection. So before selection, what I do, I have to screen out the resumes. Suppose I've got around 500 resumes. So I cannot call all the 500s to the job here. So what I do, I just screen out the resumes. So screening out the resumes, how it plays a very important role is, a candidate, before he passes the resume, he has to keep in mind certain things. That is, he has to attach a cover sheet to a resume, because that plays a very important thing. So that gives the overall dressing about, and how is expressing about his objectives of the career objectives, what we can call in a resume, and his literally education background, experiences, awards, recognition, etc., etc. Okay, like this, all these parameters he has to keep in mind when he is just picturing the resume. So keeping all those things, so if all those things, whatever is picturing, starting from his career objective and his education background, experiences, or any achievements, awards, etc., etc., if this is matching to my job requirement, whatever the vacancies we have just called for, if it is matching to my present job called for, then I'll just screen out the resume, okay, keeping few resumes which are just matching to me. So this is how I eliminate. So whichever resumes which are not matching to the job called for, so I just eliminate those resumes. Okay, so I'm just eliminating those resumes here. Okay, that is the the explanation for screening resumes here. Okay, this is the second step here. Okay, now going back to the next step, that is the third step, interviewing. Okay, so what we did in the very first, we defined the job requirements. After that, I started recruiting by two sources, either recruiting internally or externally. Then after that, after all my resumes are screened, then what I do, the screened candidates, now I'm calling for them for the interview process now. So this interview is something where you are having a direct face-to-face interaction, okay, between a candidate, that is a prospective candidate, and a job seeker. Okay, that is the employer-employee. So this is we call recruitment as a linking activity, because it links two parties here. One is employer and the other one is a employee. Okay, job holder and job seeker. Okay, so it gets close, the two parties here. So what I do, we have got various types of interviewing techniques here. Again, it depends on organization to conduct various forms of interview. So either it can be a personal interview, or it can also be a telephonic interview, okay, or it can also be structured interview, unstructured interview. So it depends on the nature of the job called for. okay, whatever the job they are required, in which way they want to conduct the test, what we say. So interviewing is one such form of test, what we can say. Okay, screening of a candidate, okay, selecting a candidate, we can say. And remember, always whenever I'm just conducting an interview, I have to keep in mind it should have an introduction, it should have a body, and it should have a conclusion whenever I do an interview. So keeping all these three parameters, so introduction part, the body part, and the conclusion, this we have to do it in a interview form. So anyway, again, this you go in a beyond in a next units in the selection process here. So that's what we came into across in the interviewing, that is understanding the types of interviewing, okay, and then the jobs, where in the interview what we usually do is we are asking an incumbent, okay, the job seeker, asking a questions. We are asking questions regarding to the job, okay, and as well as the personal information. So we try to seek informations regarding to the job one side, and the personal aspects other side. So this way we try to conduct the interview. And here, after doing interview, is the next step is evaluating candidates. So this is a very toughest job here, and the toughest step also here. So after one interview is over, then I have to evaluate candidates. So we call this as a hiring decision. So this is a major decision here. And so how I'm evaluating? I'm evaluating based on his interaction, what happens in this test. So interview is one of the such test of selection. Either it can be also like group discussion we can go, and other various forms of tests we can conduct here. And here finally I'm just making a suitable, that is if I feel yes it's a promising candidate, potential candidate, prospective candidate, finally a decision is made, a strong decision is made of selecting a candidate here. Okay, that is how we try to evaluate. So this evaluating, how it has been done based on the previous steps, that is taking about the job requirements, okay, looking at his resumes and looking at his previous experiences or the whatever the achievements, etc., etc. we try to evaluate here, and we finally make a decision here. Also after this, there is another way of evaluating a candidate who has applied for the job, that is reference check. Okay, usually candidate specifies the references, so those reference people, whomever he is referring, we try to call back. Okay, maybe we are just verifying his education background, so we might call back to the colleges, or else we can also call back to the previous workstations where he was working, and we try to pull the background history. So we are trying to verify regarding to the candidate. So this is how the evaluation happens. We can say reference check is also one of the way of evaluating the candidate here. Okay, after evaluating the candidate, finally what we are doing is we are making decision. Okay, we are making decision of what? To provide a job offer. Okay, so this is the last step. So after all this examination, the very last step is we are giving offer to a candidate. We are giving what? Incumbent is given an offer to him. So this job offer, remember, it's only an official document. It's only a formal document, and it's not a final agreement. Okay, where in this offer letter it only speaks regarding to the joining date, okay, what is the title of the job, okay, location, where the location, it can speaks about the compensation, it can speaks about his time frame, what is the duration of working, and what is his roles, responsibilities, duties assigned. So descriptive manner it says in this job offer. Okay, after this job offer, that is a candidate accept the job, then finally has been given an appointment order. So that's the last step. Okay, so this is how we try to understand the recruitment process or the hiring process here. Okay, so we have simple 5 steps. Okay, the very first step is what? You have to define the job requirements. Once this is done, then we go with the recruiting the promising candidates. That's the second one. Then we do the interviewing, and then you are evaluating the candidates, and the last one is you're making final decision and you're providing him a job offer. So that's one way of trying to understand the hiring process. So this box, I think you have understood now. Okay, now moving to the next box. Even this box also explains the same hiring process, recruitment process, but in a different manner. Okay, whatever we explained here, it's quite repeatable here, but other way, the author tried to explain in different ways, right? So we are taking one more author, how he is trying to explain the recruitment process here. Here, the very first step is recruitment planning. We have to plan what? Recruitment. So how are we planning your recruitment? The very first step of here, that is again your identifying a job. Once identifying a job, you have to define the job, job description, job specification, what are the personal characteristics required, what are the organization culture required, climate required, all these things you have to put it here in the recruitment planning. Okay, and then you have to say the numbers, that is what numbers you're recruiting, what is that numbers required, whether I'm recruiting 500 people, 200 people, 400 people, 50, 1, 2, so number specification should also be there, and the types, that is nature of hiring, that is whether I'm recruiting full-time, part-time, apprentice, trainee, casual, outsourcing, whether existing job or new jobs. So like this you have to say the types of recruitment also, okay, what you are recruiting. So this is the recruitment planning here. Okay, next comes the sources of recruitment. Sources of recruitment very similar to your recruiting promising candidates. So sources of recruitment, it's already been explained. We have two sources of recruitment, internal, external. So we have already said what are the various methods of internal here, what are the various methods of external sources here, and also by direct, indirect, third party and modern techniques of recruitment we have told. And coming after the sources of recruitment, next one is contacting sources. Contacting sources. So this step is quite different, which has not been repeated here. Okay, contacting sources is, as I've already told, both the parties, because first of all recruitment links two parties here. One side you have a job holder, other side job seeker, employer, employee. But finally both of them have to make a decision. Even employer has got all the rights to make whom to select. At the same time even the candidate also, incumbent also has got a right to whether to join an organization or not to join an organization. So both have the rights. So here contacting sources, so here what, how a candidate, how an incumbent make a final decision of accepting a job or accepting a company. So this depends on three theories here. One is objective factor theory, subjective factor theory, critical factor theory. So here this step is very important. It's something like where lots of psychological inputs are put here. How a candidate is making a decision of accepting a job or joining a company. It depends on by three factors theory. So very first one is objective factor theory. So this theory what it says is a candidate, he selects a job or a company only based on organization. That is he is just choosing a job because yes, this company, yes, it's having a brand, it's having a good image in the public. Okay, oh yes, this company here, it's giving me a good infrastructure, or it pays me good compensation package, it gives me good training. So it's totally depending on the company. How the candidate is making a decision is only based on the company, that is company brand, company image, okay, and the company infrastructure, compensation, training, and what are the other facilities, benefits the company gives. Not because of the personal factors. He's only making the judgment only by the company. For example, Infosys, TCS, IBM, Wipro. So this way we make what? The final decision of joining the company. Okay, the next factor is subjective factor theory. So this theory what explain is a candidate is making a judgment, okay, of accepting a job core based on his personal factor, not based on organization. He is only making because of his personal constraint. For example, yes, he is need for a job. He has just finished his what? Education. So he has to look after his family. So he needs a job. So it's completely based on his personal characteristics, what we can say, his personal demands, personal factors. It can be his emotional bondage, okay, regarding to his personal thing. So personally he is making a commitment. Because of his core personal commitments, he makes accepting the job here or choosing the company here. Whereas critical factor theory, what it says is here a candidate is neither able to make a decision whether he is choosing a job either because of a company brand or because of personal issue. So he doesn't know anything. So he is not able to distinguish between the company brand or the personal issue. He just gets an what do we say, chance, okay, That's the critical way of he does the decision, critical factor theory. So these are the three theories where he tries to, one or the other way, a prospective candidate, he decides to join for a company or he opts for a job here. Okay, that's the one thing. And next step is application pool. Application pool is something we know already. Recruitment itself is what? It has to stimulate, it has to attract a candidate to apply for a job here. Okay, so a pool is a talent pool. Finally, all the best brains, what we can call, okay, it has been, they have been stimulated to apply for a job from the various sources, okay, of various places. They are applying for a job here. So that we call it as what? Application pool here. So finally, any recruitment, it has to attract, it has to motivate, it has to stimulate n number of candidates to apply for a job. So it has to create what? A talent pool. So that is the meaning we are saying here. And finally, after this, that is application pool, and then we go with the selection process. Selection process is what? Finally, whatever the resumes we have got from this pool, that is application pool. So finally, all those resumes are screened out. So that is what we said now here. What we say, recruiting promising candidate here, screening the resumes, we did it here. Now. The same thing comes in the picture of the application pool also here. And finally, selection process. Selection process is of various tests where we conduct to select a candidate. So again, here you got either we can do interview, or we can do group discussion, or we can do aptitude test, attitude test, okay, mental test, physical test. So many tests are there. After he clearing all the tests, and then finally we make a decision and we offer him a job. So this is what it says about the selection process here. So this box is another way of understanding recruitment process or hiring process here. So in this today's session, we have tried to understand hiring process or recruitment process by two boxes. Okay, hope you understood this session, and quite interesting too. So thank you very much. See you soon in the next session.